Alright everybody, hey, welcome back to our awesome training here. So let's just dive in here, guys. So this is the kind of last video here, final part of our ranking section here. And in this video, we're going to kind of put everything together that we just talked about. So right now, hopefully you've gone through all the other videos in this section, and you've got... there's a lot of stuff that we just went through here, right? There's a lot of information. There's a lot of possibly new things. You might be feeling kind of overwhelmed. So we've kind of, so we thought, we'd do one last video here, kind of just to put everything together, put it in perspective for you. So, you can think of it right now. This video is kind of, right now you are now equipped with all these awesome tools. The link building, the on-page, the citations, all this stuff. You guys have all these tools in your bag, but this video I want it to kind of be your instruction manual for how to go forward and to just kind of just pretty much how to use these tools to rank your clients. Pretty much. And, I want to break it down into exact steps for you, start here and there, step 1, step 2, step 3 kind of things. Just kind of make it as easy as possible for you to go out there and start ranking your clients. Exactly. Boom. So here we're going to be talking about strategies for local websites. So the majority of this course is focused on teaching you how to do local SEO. That is, search engine optimization for local websites, websites that target customers in a certain geographic area, pretty much. That's what we're going for here. So, let's just dive right in here, guys. So the first step for ranking your local client is going to be to claim their Google local listing. So the Google My Business, their Google Maps listing. We talked about this in a video in this section. We got really in depth on it. So we want to make sure that we have claimed this stuff and that their Google business listing is verified. Verified Google business listings are a huge local trust factor for Google searches, and we know that Google loves Google-owned properties. So we can kind of use Google's inborn bias. I wouldn't say against it, but we can use Google's bias to help us rank better. So, you used to be able to kind of get away with not having a verified Google business listing, but these days you just really kind of have to have it in there. And you want to also follow the steps for optimizing it that we went through in the other video there. So go check that out if you haven't checked it out already. The next thing we're going to do is, after we have our Google business listing claimed or have taken the steps to claim it, we're going to find out what the citation situation is. So we want to audit the citations. So just as a refresher here, citations, it's pretty much just an online reference to a business's name, address, and phone number. NAP, we call that the NAP for short. And when we say online reference, we mean being listed in a directory, something like a Yelp or, Super Pages, Yellow Pages, whatever they're calling themselves these days. We want to make sure your business is listed in there. We also want to make sure that we're kind of going through and just making sure things are correct on there. So the idea is that we want to have more citations than the competition, right? And usually the business that has the most citations from the most authoritative places, that's it's the more real website, it's the more trustworthy website, at least in the eyes of Google. So we want to start with an audit, though, because citations, the thing about citations is they need to be the same everywhere online. Your client's NAP has to be the same across the entirety of the web. Any slight variation is going to cause you headaches. It's just not. It's gonna come back to bite you in the butt. And what we mean by this is, a slight variation might be something like having a suite number in some locations and then not having a suite number in others. So if several websites list the address as 123 Fake Street, and that's where the business is, but then a couple of other places list the address as 123 Fake Street Suite 3, that's a difference. And we need to find out, A, what the actual address is. Is it Suite 3 or is it just the street address? And B, we need to go out there and, once we know what the real address is, change all of the locations where it says the wrong address to make it say the right address. And doing an audit is going to help you find out what citations you already have, and it's going to help you see where the inconsistencies are out there. So if you find inconsistent citations, and you're going to do this by simply Googling the business name in quotes. You know, if you do in quotes in Google, Google searches exactly what you tell it to search, and then just go through and see what the address listings are for each of those websites. If you don't find any inconsistencies on the first couple pages, you're probably okay. But if you do find some inconsistencies, this is where you have to go and start fixing them. So you can do this by hand. You can go to each of the websites and you can say, hey, I need this changed. We're listed in your directory as this, but the address is actually this. Can you help me fix it? And some of that is going to involve phone calls, and some of that will involve emailing people. It can be kind of a pain in the ass, but you can outsource it, which is really great. Using a service from the Hoth, which is thehoth.com. They have really cool, they have a lot of interesting SEO services on there, which are great for us. Check out the video on that if you haven't already. Marketer Center as well, another great place where you can outsource some of your SEO work. Both of them have great citation cleanup services. They do cost some money, a little bit pricey, but again, your client is paying you to do this, so just take some of that client money. It can take some time too. It can take up to a month for them to do this because they actually go out there and they contact all these places. But it's really worth it to be able to rank locally for these search terms. So once you've got the audit underway, or you finish that up, or wherever you are, whatever you're comfortable with, you're going to move on to doing the on-page SEO. So really, guys, just go back and check out those videos from the first week and from earlier on in this section if you're still confused about on-page SEO. I tried to make it as simple as possible, but it doesn't always work. Sometimes I get off on my tangents here and start being super technical. But just follow those guidelines, guys. Just grab that PDF, and you're really going to be a-okay here. So essentially, just go through there. Build out the landing pages for each area that your client wants to rank. If they want to rank in like different town names or different keywords, it's essentially a new page for every keyword if you can. Localbusinessname.com/keyword. That's the best way to do it. When you're taking care of the content on those pages, make sure to use long tail variations of your keyword within the text and LSIs to avoid that over optimization that we talked about. Make sure, again, that the NAP on the website is correct as well, because it's not just out in the world where it needs to be correct. It needs to be correct on your website. So, using a site-wide footer is the way to avoid having an issue with that, having any mistakes. Just go in and just use a site-wide footer plugin for WordPress, or if you're using Weebly or Squarespace or whatever, you should be able to do that pretty simply. And then the next thing here, it's time to start building links. So there is no hard and fast rule that says you can't build links when your stuff is not optimized. My personal recommendation is to have the website be optimized before you go in and start building links, start sending that link juice. Just because if it's optimized, the link juice is going to flow down to the pages in the correct manner, correct way, and it's going to be it's going to work out better for you. However, I understand sometimes people just want to get on it and deliver some results to their clients. So you can do this first. I tend to do this as the last step, but that's up to you. So for links, we want to start with a focus on branded anchor text. First couple of links you send, make them branded, have that branded anchor text. So Joe's Plumber, all that stuff. I don't know, cool dude shoe store, whatever the name of the business is, start with the branded stuff. Social profiles, make sure you're grabbing up all of those too. Obviously, you get your Facebooks and your Twitters of the world, but, really you can go out there and you can just like grab as many social profiles as you can for your business, or for your client, I should say, because we all know how much Google loves social media. Social profiles are they're very big these days. So they kind of send a lot of trust. Another thing for link building here, guys, and check out the video on these if I haven't made it yet. Hopefully I have, but if I haven't, then get on me to do it. But about press releases, we want to make sure, these are really great for anchor text diversity. Again, we talked about anchor text ratios in another video, and making sure that the links that we're sending, there's enough variation in the anchor text where Google is not going to hand you a penalty for that. So go through and make sure that you've done, there's enough diversity in anchor text, but if there's not, if there's too much of one keyword, you can use press releases to kind of spread that out. And it's a great way. Businesses really love them because it makes them look cool. They get on like, big fancy websites. I'd recommend in a press release, using a naked URL and a branded anchor. That's going to help, spread that link juice around a little bit. So, other links here, guys, how are you going to get these links? So in content diversity links from like mini authority websites that are Web 2.0s, like your Blogger, .blogspot, Tumblr, Weebly websites. These are great ways to get, again, anchor text diversity and build up a little bit of niche authority for your specific keywords. These things are really cool. I would recommend, checking out the Hoth for this service. I'll probably just shoot a whole video on the Hoth and show you guys some cool services there that they offer that are just really helpful for doing all this stuff. And the kind of final piece of the puzzle here for link building, guys, is our high-powered links. And this is where we get into our authority networks / personal blog networks, which was what the next section is really all about. Start to finish, top to bottom, how to build those for yourself and why they're so powerful. So if you don't understand what I'm talking about right now, just wait and check out the next section for that. So, once you have built up enough backlink diversity with the strategies we've discussed here, the in-content diversity links, press releases, social media profiles, those are all backlinks too. This is where we want to go out there and start hitting the website with exact match anchor texts on these high-powered websites, which are our authority websites that we're going to be building in the next section here. So, this is guest posting is one of them, but then also the authority network links. So, and we just want to pepper in these exact match anchors. We don't want to hit, we want like one for maybe for every 10 links that you send to the site, one of them should be exact match anchor, just like a little dash of them. See the material from earlier in this section. This is last week. I should say earlier in this section, up to learn a little bit more about anchor text ratios if you kind of skipped over that. And then the next part of the link building is citation building. So we want to be building more citations as well. These are really essential for ranking in local. And pretty much we just want to be listed in directories that are both relevant to the industry that your client is in and relevant, I should say, to the geographic areas where they want to get business from. So Marketer Center, which, again, check out the video on those guys. That's my recommendation pretty much all the way for, getting as much, for having them build citations for you. Their big citations package plus hyperlocal citations, it's a combo that like really can't be beat. Doing that together during the early stages of a new website, is really, during the early stages of a new campaign is really powerful, and then maybe getting another package of citations a couple months later, because it takes Google time to index all these things and apply the link juice. So yeah, guys, I'm actually gonna pause. I'm gonna stop this video and I'm gonna do another video because I know this one's getting a little long, and we're gonna break down what everything should look like month 1, month 2, all that stuff. So hold on 1 sec and just check the next video.